Nobody, and I mean nobody, likes waking up and feeling like crap, okay? I mean, you'd have to be nuts. So that's why you should get a ghost bed. You don't need to worry about that, okay? At Ghost Bed, you'll find made in the USA mattresses with premium materials and backed by 20 to 25-year warranties. Plus, take 101 nights to break it in with their sleep trial. Listeners can get 30% off mattresses, plus two free pillows, or 40% off Ghost Bed bundles with a mattress and adjustable base. Use promo code Lewis, Lewis, at ghostbed.com/Lewis for a limited time.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello, Lewis Black here, and welcome, yes, welcome, to Rantcast number 120, entitled An Alligator Grows in Brooklyn. That's right. I'm basing that on a book called Tree Grows in Brooklyn. So I thought, what a wonderful little thing to put together there. And before I get to the story of the alligator growing in Brooklyn, I'd like to let you know that our rubber chicken has hightailed it out of the community and he went off to Oregon, following in the footsteps of Aaron Rodgers, to spend time because, like Aaron, he's trying to come up with a decision. What is the matter with me sometimes? Okay, ever since the pandemic, extra words enter me and come out my mouth, and I'm really sorry about that. They shouldn't. I'm doing everything I can here. It's not an age thing. Nope. Because generally, 97% of the time, the words are coming right out. Since that pandemic, it's like, and so it went. That's the way it's been going, and that's the way it'll no doubt continue, and I will not apologize anymore for that. But you should know that the rubber chicken went there to really find himself. Has been completely distraught by the commentaries that were sent in on Twitter, and he is trying to find himself in the darkness, much like Aaron Rodgers, who went up there to make a decision. Who the fuck goes into the dark to make a decision? How does that fucking help? I'm going to be here in the middle of darkness, and it's going to be pitch black, which is what it is, and you can't get a place there, apparently, for a year or so. If I'm right about that, it's close to that. It was the kind of thing, I read it, and I didn't write it down because I'm lazy. That too is something I've noticed about myself. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Where do they find people?" And then they bring the food in, and it's dark. At least from there. I mean, if you're going to be in darkness, you're in darkness. I guess I don't know how. It would not be, look, unless, that's a deal breaker alone. I got to see the food. But how the hell do they know what they're eating? Even they could be told it's chicken, but if you're told something, a lot of the times you actually think you're eating chicken. They could be eating mole for all they know. But the chicken is out there. I look forward to hearing what he has to say about his time in the darkness. After going and being locked up in my fucking apartment, in solitary confinement. It's solitary confinement with darkness, and you're choosing that. I don't see how that helps you figure shit out. Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe there's something there that I'm missing, but I don't fucking think so. It takes a special person, really, to say, I'm going to live in the dark for a while and find out who I am, and make a decision. I'm going to make a decision by not seeing light. Okay, well, well, what can I say? It's really there are people who also get into isolation tanks now, created by John Lilly, which he did it. He was working with the National Institute of Mental Health, I believe, and he did it in order to find if he could find a separation between mind and the body. I don't want to go into an isolation tank either. He would go in on acid. Woo, woo. boy, oh boy, ring of wow, wow, emergency, emergency. I would just hear a siren going off for the amount of time that I was on that trip. But just being in an isolation tank at all would be more than I could bear. I need to, I have somebody to talk to, even if it's through the screen. Um, if I'm going to be, I can't see that. I mean, I could be in a, in maybe in a tank where I'm looking out and you're playing some music for me in the pool, but fuck this. Uh, Fuck that darkness shit. No, not me. Um, so that's, but let's get back to, we're hoping the rubber chicken returns. We're hoping this helps. Maybe he met Aaron along the way, Aaron Rodgers, and they bonded over another meal. And I can't believe I just was talking about eating chicken while speaking about the rubber chicken. What if they served the rubber chicken chicken? He wouldn't know. He would not know. And that is a sad, sad. That's why you don't go into the dark to find yourself. Okay, makes no sense to me. And I think I've proven my point there. Um, it's also, but let's get back to the where this whole thing started. Um, it's an alligator grows in Brooklyn, and now they found in Prospect Park. There's a lake there in Brooklyn, and they found a 4-foot alligator. Huh? Yep, that's right. And I think that's a great book that could be written. It's kind of the sequel to a tree grows in Brooklyn, an alligator grows in Brooklyn, to 4 feet. Holy fuck! I mean, and somebody brought it out to the pond, but they found some sort of a bathtub stopper in its throat. I think he ended up going to an alligator retreat where there was light, and so they could see that. But so maybe maybe they shoved him down a tub, but he wouldn't end up there. Maybe that's when the guy said, I fucking have had it enough with you. First you bite off my foot, and now you're eating the bathtub stopper. Son of a bitch. Enough's enough. I'm taking you to the lake. And drops the poor fucking alligator in a lake. Boy, that's the last thing. It's the last thing anybody fucking needs is to be dropped in a lake in Brooklyn, in Prospect Park Lake. Who needs that unless it's 120 out and you can't handle the fucking heat? But it's an alligator. Son of a bitch. It makes no sense. People buy them, couldn't keep them. This has happened time and again, but never heard about one in New York. And here you go. And that he grew to 4 feet. It apparently was a little emaciated alligator. It looked big to me, and I would not fuck with it. And we are just lucky that somebody did not get chomped. And then, of course, they'd sue the city saying you didn't protect us from the alligator. And so it would go. And then I'm just surprised that there isn't a group of really radical climate scientists who believe that there are more alligators in there and that this is a product of climate change. I mean, these are the real radicals, the ones who are kind of, as the ones who are totally against the idea that there is climate change. They're those who find climate change in anything, and finding an emaciated alligator would make them believe that, things have moved north, that the alligators, it's just too much for them down in Florida, or maybe it was DeSantis who drove them up here. When I laugh at my own stuff, that's a bit sad. But I really just thought of that, and it struck me when I heard it coming out of my mouth. It entertained me, and but my God, I'm sure that they would go, by God, look at these alligators fleeing Florida between the hurricanes and the heat. We need to get. It's gotten too hot for us, and so we will go to the next place, because they keep saying eventually with climate change, Buffalo will be the new Florida, and won't that be something? But moving on, uh, we've got the up to the railroad. Here's something that's been that railroad 141 trains or something like that. Something, but that was the length of it. It was, I mean, astonishingly long. Well, that was 143, 140. It was fucking long, and it was, I believe, it was 141 is certainly fucking close, but I believe that's actually correct because I was just looking at the article a minute ago. And why would you have that many fucking, cars on a train, huh? What would you expect to happen? 141. You know, we don't travel that way. Okay, we don't put people in that. Why? Probably because it's considered dangerous. And this group of people, they pass some law in which they could end up getting away with all sorts of shit. The railroads, those who ship fucking freight, and so this is even, this is fucking unbelievable that they are carrying that many cars. I've seen it time and again crossing the countries back and forth, the country, not the countries, back and forth, and literally, you sit there, as we're driving down the road, and you're looking out the window, going, there are 30 cars, 40 cars, 50 cars, 60. No need. I mean, unless you're going to fix those tracks and have some sort of a fucking, have people overlooking the safety of the rails, and it was just a matter of fucking time, and it's happened before. East Palestine is certainly a more hellish version of what we've seen before, but we've seen this shit, and we're lucky that, I wonder if the Barnum and Bailey, when they were traveling by train, all they'd have to do was tip over there, and the lions would enter town and eat some people, along with some alligators. No, they didn't have alligators. That would be a pretty good show, the Alligator show. Having them climb up on each other. Oh, shut up. Okay. But it's what shocked me, if it's true, I've heard it a couple of times on what is considered news now, on the TV set, on the television. Meanwhile, Norfolk Southern, the railroad at fault, the company at fault, is monitoring the air, the water, the habitat, the folks. They're doing the monitoring. I don't understand that. Okay, well, but how are they involved with this at all at this point? The EPA should be involved and find a group, an independent group that moderates it, and keep Norfolk Southern fucking away from there. What are they going to say? Of course they're going to say this shit is good. Everything's fine. The water's fine. Yum, 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 yum. I don't see them hanging out there. And the folks are getting sick, and they're having headaches, and they've got their eyes burned. Why don't, is there a reporter who's hanging there that could tell us what they feel like about sitting around there? Or did they go to another fucking town? Or is it cleared out by now? So that the major first effects are still knocking these people around. But it's just amazing to me. Have the fucking Norfolk Southern fucking monitor the health of the region? Are you shitting me? What is with us? And how do you expect the people to be possibly be trustworthy of that? Oh yeah, Norfolk Southern says, fuck you. Just fuck you. I also, before we leave this, they call it East Palestine. East Palestine. I don't quite understand that. There is apparently a Palestine, Ohio, and it is based on biblical and other things. It's based on the name of it is based on the Palestine, I believe. Let me check that. The name East Palestine, it was probably initially called East Palestine by those who changed it. The original name was Mechanicsburg, and one of the settlers wanted it changed to something a little nicer, more, less, and because they were Christian settlers, and there were a number of places in the area and in Pennsylvania that were named after uh, villages and cities in in the Holy Land at the time, and mentioned in the Bible. So hence Palestine, East Palestine. But I still don't understand. Why would you change it from Palestine? It's pretty good. It's East. There's a Palestine, and then you go, no, we're better. We're East Palestine. Apparently, it's now a village. It used to be a city, but now it's a village. Um, and that's something I'm not going to go into. I don't have the time because we've got to get on to oat milk, as they call it now, almond milk, and of course the really criminal soy milk, which does not make in any way, shape, or form a good latte. I don't care. I don't care what people say. I don't. I've got friends who do it. That they put it in. One in particular, I will not point her out. And I have tasted it a couple of times. This latte made with soy milk, and it is horrific, and it destroys it. And I just, unless you're lactose intolerant, this amount of milk or whatever is not going to be the turning point. That amount of, if you get half and half, whatever. If you get low fat milk, get zero fat, get lactate for all I give a shit, but not soy milk. Why? Because it is not milk. However, the fucking FDA has stepped in and said now that you can call almond and almond, soy, and oat making its rearing its ugly head, and macadamia nuts. There's macadamia milk coming down the pike. You'll find it. It'll be squished in the others with all of the thousands of milks that are not milks. But the FDA said, yes, this is a milk. It can't be a milk. It doesn't, as I said in my act about the soy milk, it can't be soy milk. Why? Because there's no soy titty. So get a grip on that. I cannot believe that. It's juice, all of them. You squeeze the oat, juice comes out. You squeeze the almond, squeeze it really hard, juice comes out. They're dragging juice out of it. And if you said almond juice, you might, but soy juice, you're going to gag. Oat juice, whoa, disgusting. That's how come it's an advertising ploy. And the FDA ruled that, well, people knew it wasn't milk. Yeah, of course people knew it wasn't milk, because but they didn't know is, that they don't seem to understand is that it's juice. You can call if milk makes them comfortable to call it that. If that's what helps people get up in the morning and put it on their cereal or whatever, for those who cannot have milk, go ahead. All right? I'm not going to stand in your way, but I can't believe that the FDA allowed that, okay? It should just be oat, whatever. But I think juice, and I will stand by that. I will continue to stand by that. And so I've got a thing I want to read to you before we lock things up here. So to wrap things up, I'd like to read you a little something. I think I might have read this before, but if not, it bears repeating. Some of you may not have even heard it, and if you have heard it, I think you'll enjoy hearing it again. I certainly enjoyed reading it again. A Florida woman is suing Kraft Heinz, claiming the firm's microwavable mac and cheese cups, I don't know who would be eating those, take longer than the advertised 3.5 minutes to prepare. Amanda Ramirez's class action suit states that the label is false and misleading because it takes additional time to unlid the cups, combine the contents with water, stir, and thicken. Ramirez is seeking, I'm going to give you a few seconds to guess, because it's stunning. Just stunning. $5 million. So you can get a sense of the value of Amanda's time. 3 minutes. It's in 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes to prepare. So the water and stuff. So what would that take you? What unless you had to go to a well, maybe go to the center of town somewhere. You're living on the outskirts. You're in a very rural area, so rural that you have to go a mile to get the water. And I mean, let's not kid ourselves. There are towns in which you're probably safer. I mean, you know, Flint, you're probably safer going to another town to get water. But let's say you had to get in your car, walk to get water, and then bring it back. Then I might. Then one might. You know, and stir. It's and how long does it take to make regular macaroni and cheese? My mother used to make it, and I know that the reason my mother made it is because it didn't take long. What did it take? 10 minutes? Even if it takes 15, it's you put it in the thing, you heat up the macaroni, you strain it, you throw in the cheese. This is like it's extraordinary to me, and it's extraordinary. The legal system just should go. You go. She brings this to court. Any law. Well, first off, she didn't even bring it to court. Any lawyer should just go. No, you're out of your fucking mind. That's an out of your fucking mind one. All right, we're not suing Kraft over that. But I threw it in my face. No, we're not doing that. Not today. Nope. Today we have an important announcement. For those of you who got a chance, and you still have a chance, to see Stark Raving Black on my YouTube channel. Yes, there's a Lewis Black YouTube channel. And you can go there and see Stark Raving Black. We've been running it in its entirety, the director's cut. As I like to say, not as long as Apocalypse Now, nor did we cut in any of the, edit in anything from Apocalypse Now. But I liked Apocalypse Now, and I like Stark Raving Black, and it's you still have an opportunity to see that on the YouTube channel, Lewis Black's YouTube channel, up until March 3rd. At which point, on the air will come on Lewis Black's YouTube channel, In God We Rust, a special of mine that you also will see in its entirety, only seen on the DVD before. You can see it for free. I don't know if I said that, but you can see Stark Raving Black is also free. And we shot In God We Rust in Minnesota at the State Theater, a really terrific theater that I have always loved playing. And a true story. Both of those theaters are there. But that's where we shot it. My parents were there. And the set was a blow up, a visualization on stage. The set was taken from one of my father's paintings, which I'm very proud of. My tour manager, Ben Brewer, it was his idea, and I don't really think in that fashion. I'm visually inert. I have no visual sense, and it was really a terrific piece, my father's painting, and made a great set that night. So you take the opportunity to go there, go to YouTube, Lewis Black, Stark Raving Black, or In God We Rust. And if you enjoy them, subscribe. And there'll be a lot more coming down the pike in your direction. So I hope you enjoy it. And I know you're going to enjoy this week's A Blast from the Past. Rants from Skokie, Illinois, 9/27, I believe, 19, a performance there. It's September 27th, 2019. And 20, I almost said 1919. And which we did at the North Shore Center for the Performing Arts. We're going to be back there March 24th and March 25th. But for now, please enjoy the rantings of the good folks of Skokie and environs, and always a pleasure to spend time with you. And it really is. And I look forward to seeing you out there when we get to Skokie. And in the meantime, enjoy what we did a few years ago. Thanks for spending time with me, and as always, please take care of each other. This enough is enough. A little civility really would help. Look, there's a lot of stuff that I hate in this world. I mean, it's why you listen to the podcast, right? Maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but I know one thing that everybody hates. Boy, do I. And that's bad sleep. Maybe you're laying in bed just trying to get to sleep in the first place, or maybe you're a hot sleeper, so you're waking up dripping in sweat. That's why I'm glad to partner with GhostBed. They're a family-owned company, and they've been around for 20 years, so they know what they're doing. My friend Charlie got one recently, and he loves it. I mean, they just don't slap together mattresses like some of these other companies. They actually take the time to make a high-quality, made-in-the-USA mattress that's going to help you get the sleep you deserve, and it's going to last. If you're a hot sleeper, you'll want to check out the GhostBed Luxe, which is dubbed the coolest mattress in the world. Try out your mattress for 101 nights with their sleep trial. Shipping is free, and most orders ship within 24 hours of checking out. Listeners can get 30% off mattresses, plus 2 free pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their adjustable base. Use promo code LEWIS, LEWIS, at ghostbed.com/Lewis for a limited time. We're at the North Shore Center for the Performing Arts here in Skokie, Illinois. I'd like to say that next door is the Northlight Theater, correct? And that theater, really years and years ago, in its second year of existence, I believe it was, did a play of mine. And I never saw it, and I never got a check. So I've come back here every year and a half or so in hopes that that will be rectified. I hope that for those of you who are fans of the Chicago Bears, that you take a moment to thank someone who is a fan of the whatever it is that my team plays. I'm from Washington. We don't really play football. We play something else. You owe us, and me, a phenomenal debt of gratitude for making your offense look like it knew what it was doing. God, we are just awful, and I really, God damn it, and even if we could combine our teams and we still would be shitty. We would be less shitty. We've got that. I can't. This is for me, talking about them is like for some people to talk about global warming. So. This is, and also I should let the folks know, for those of you who live in the area and sent in rants and or those who might have sent in some other rants that we weren't able to actually, I'm not working with a pad, I'm working with paper and like fucking Xerox. So we apologize for that. We'll be back hopefully up on track tomorrow, but we've got a number of really nice pieces. Before it went down, there were some great things that came in. And we'll start with Mike's. This is Chicago. We do not put ketchup on hot dogs. Ketchup on hot dogs is an abomination under the heavens. Nobody over the age of 6 should have ketchup on a hot dog. The sweetness of ketchup completely overwhelms the subtle meat and spice flavoring of a Chicago kosher beef frank. You put ketchup on your hot dog in front of me, and I'll smack it out of your hands and make you choke as I shove a stale churro drenched in ketchup into your ignorant pie hole. This is from Pam Elliott. The government is now referring, I love this, to our Social Security checks as a federal benefit payment. I had not heard this. And this isn't a benefit. It's our money paid out of our earned income. Not only did we all contribute to Social Security, but our employers did too. It totaled 15% of our income before taxes. And I'm sick of, in parentheses, or in quotes, the powers that be, dipping their sticky little fingers in it like it's their personal reserve piggy bank. It's unbelievable that we can't figure out that problem with Social Security. It's really easy, really fucking easy. I just went on Social Security, which they told me I had to do. And I said, why? Why don't you take that money that I don't need and keep it in the system? And I said to the person who called that I had to talk to, I said, I'm not really talking to you right now. I'm talking to the person who's listening to us. And if they could get in touch with me, what I would like to do, since I don't need Social Security, because I've set up I have a SAG, AFTRA, Writers Guild, Actors Equity, and my own pension. I have 5 pensions. I don't need Social Security. It's kind of fucking stupid. And then you're going to tax it too? What the fuck's the matter with you? Just keep that money in the system as long as I'm living. And that keeps, that at least there's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whoever would be able to benefit from that. There are a ton of people out there who don't need Social Security and who fucking have it. But if you ask them to give it up, they're not going to do it, which is unbelievable. Unfuck-believable. It's one way at it. The other way has always been for the fact that they only, and I used to do, there's a whole bit about it. If you go back through my CDs, and I can't remember which one it's on. It was when I discovered that it's like $108,000 and then they don't tax you anymore on your income to cover Social Security, which is what they should do, because that's the money you're making. And why wouldn't they do it? But they don't. And that's why it don't work in part. So, I mean, God damn it, to call it a federal benefit payment, fuck you, it's a benefit. Fuck you. It's called, boy, oh boy, thank you for this fucking little bit of thing. I'll get a couple of cans of corn. I can't even buy fresh corn anymore, you fucking pricks. It's just unbelievable. And make it older, make it, depending if somebody wants to get it. If I wanted to get it at 75, allow me to get it at 75. Fuck you, you don't make the determination, you stupid shits. This is from Abby P. She's here tonight. Ladies who wear overpowering perfume to an event where we all have to sit close together. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Angel by Theory Mugler, however you pronounce her, whoever that. I've seen that name, but I don't know. Angel by Theory Mugler, more like Satan. Wow. All right, this is from Canadian. You're gonna love this. I love going to Canada because they really get it. Yep, and a few of them slipped in over the border. Just to come down here for a good laugh. All our guy is doing is running around in blackface. So man, what? Hello? You don't go, oh, it's a fact, fuckers. Whoa, oh, son of a bitch. And didn't know it was wrong. Oh, God damn it. It really upset my friend Kathleen Madigan because she adores him. He's so cute. Okay, this is from Heather Baker. Hi, Lou, not sure if this will count, but it counts since I'm a Canadian, and that makes me an outsider with an outsider's perspective. No, it doesn't. It makes you somebody who fucking is watching us on TV going, wah! I do think I speak for a lot of us in the world as we were watching America dissolve from what was once a great country into whatever the fuck it is now. I don't quite understand how it was even legal for Donald Trump to run for president in the first place, since he was already accused of rape and wouldn't release his taxes and was implicated in a list of other crimes. Now his phone call with the Ukraine president might be what finally takes him down. I wish someone could explain to me how he was eligible to run for office in the first place. So do I, Heather! He was eligible to run because he did really well on his TV show. That was his eligibility. It was the first time there was Republicans, Democrats, and reality shows. Who knew that was a party, Heather? I wish it's a disgrace, and I think I speak for a majority of the rest of the world when I say to Americans, we're all very sorry for your troubles. And hope you find a way out of this very soon. Impeach the slimy bastard, and then get rid of him. Pence and the rest of his crooked administration. I agree with you at this point. That's me. A Shetland pony would be an improvement. Even a Shetland pony shit would be an improvement. For anybody watching, for anybody in this audience, for anybody who disagrees, send it in. I'll read it. I have said this fucking time and time again. I don't get things. I get anger, and I get things about irritation, but I don't get a defense. I need a defense. I'll read it. I don't mind reading it. I would love to read it. I would love to find out what it is that you're thinking, because I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't like listening to Lindsey Graham and think that he's the one that's thinking for you, because I don't believe it. Because I think those of you who might have a defense of him are smarter than Lindsey Graham, because he's a dumb... I don't know what John McCain had on Lindsey Graham, but he sure kept his ass in check. This is one of my favorites. I'm big on education. And this is, I think, this is really well put and well written. This is from Marty G. I don't know if she's from around here, but I think it's pretty close to what I know every high school teacher goes through. Lou, I'm a high school teacher of 36 years who's seriously reconsidering my choice of occupation. This morning, I caught two kids in my first class attempting to photograph the test they were taking. The plan was to sell it to kids in later classes. Little did the little bastards know, I stayed up late constructing 5 different versions of the test. Enjoy detention, suckers. Then I catch a young lady texting her mother, who apparently is sitting in the school parking lot, calling her daughter out of class so they can get manicures and enjoy some girl bonding. God forbid little Morgan should have to endure English literature class with unvarnished nails. At the end of the class, one of the dimmest bulbs comes up and announces that Mommy and Daddy are taking him to Cancun for 12 days, and could he please have all his assignments? Right, Sparky, like I have the ability to conjure up 12 days of reading and handouts in the 5 minutes before my next class. In between classes, I raced to the faculty bathroom located 2 floors away with a bad case of BBS, or busting bladder syndrome, a common affliction of teachers. As I sprint back to my class, I'm accosted by my department chairman, who wants to know if I can teach 2 additional classes for 6 freaking months while some colleague is out on maternity leave. He seemed surprised when I told him I'd rather poke sharp needles into my eyes. I returned to my desk to find 13 urgent emails from parents. a reminder that I have to chaperone the Monster Mash, and a reminder that I haven't finished my state-mandated recertification by taking additional bogus classes in addition to the 3 degrees I have. My day is made complete by a conversation with a father who tells me how lucky I am since I get 3 months off every summer. And by the way, could I change his kid's D to a C and write him a college recommendation? Sure, how about it? Hey, pal, why don't I also wash and wax your car, too? The day ends with an hour-long faculty meeting where they give us a 7-page handout and then proceed to read it to us like we can't read. It's a good thing they don't allow us to carry guns. Thanks, Skokie. It's been a pleasure. Take care of each other. Thanks for watching. We'll be in Skokie tomorrow and then Green Bay. We're coming to Louisville next weekend. Get your rants in. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the Ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Aha, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.